Right now, you are standing in a museum. You don't feel it. You can't see the glass case. But everything around you, the chair you're sitting in, the language forming in your head, the borders on the map of your country, all of it is an exhibit from someone else's imagination. Because here's the thing nobody tells you. You didn't design your own life. You inherited it. Every wall, every idea, every normal thing you've never questioned. It was once somebody's impossible dream or somebody's nightmare built while you weren't there to vote on it. And in 100 years, you'll be the ghost haunting someone else's ordinary Tuesday. Stay with me, because once you see this, you cannot unsee it. Let's start small. Look at your phone. To you, it's boring. It's just there. But if you handed this exact object to someone from 1990, they wouldn't just be amazed. They'd be terrified. They'd ask what government built it. They'd ask who's watching them through it. You would have to explain that no one forced this on the world. People just wanted it. They begged for it. They waited in line overnight for it. That's the first crack in the illusion. The thing that feels inevitable to you was once a fever dream to someone else. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. That phone isn't neutral. It was shaped by decisions you never made. Engineers you'll never meet. Arguments in boardrooms you'll never see. One person's obsession with a rounded corner. You didn't choose the shape of the object that now shapes your attention, your relationships, your nervous system. You are living inside someone else's decision, and that's just a phone. Now zoom out. The roads you drive on. Someone chose that route decades ago, maybe to avoid a river, maybe to favor one neighborhood over another. You don't know why. You just accept the road. The holidays you celebrate, someone, centuries ago, picked that date, for a reason that's already half forgotten, folded into a calendar you never questioned. Even the walls of your own house were built to someone else's idea of what a family should look like. A kitchen shaped for a woman who no longer exists in that role. A living room angled toward a television that replaced a fireplace that replaced an open fire that used to be the center of the world. You didn't build any of it, you just moved in. But then something strange happens when you sit with this long enough. You start to realize it's not just objects, it's not just buildings. It's you, the way you think. The things you believe are simply true, right and wrong, success and failure, what a good life looks like. None of that came from nowhere. It was installed, quietly, before you were old enough to object. Your personality has architecture, and you didn't design the blueprint. This is where everything changes. Because if the physical world around you is inherited, what about the invisible world? What about your fears, your ambitions, your sense of what's realistic? What if the voice in your head that tells you what you can and can't do isn't even yours? Here's the part almost nobody talks about. Somewhere right now, a person is being born into a version of the future that will make your entire life look primitive. Not stupid, not wrong. Primitive. The way we now look at people who once believed the sun orbited the earth, or that leeches could cure disease, or that a woman's ambition was a medical condition. They believed that with total confidence. They weren't fools. They were living at the edge of their available knowledge, just like you are right now. Which means somewhere in your life, right now, today, there is a belief you hold with total confidence that a future human will find almost unbearable to imagine you once thought was true. You don't know which one. That's the horror of it. If you knew which belief was the wrong one, you'd already have corrected it. But you can't see your own blind spot. No one can. That's what makes it a blind spot. So you are, at this very moment, unknowingly living inside a small, invisible delusion, one that feels completely rational to you, one that will look, to someone 100 years from now, exactly the way leeches and flat maps look to us. Sit with that for a second. This is about the terrifying, beautiful fact that you are not a finished thing. You like to think of yourself as the main character, the one making free, original choices. But you're closer to a character written mid-story, inheriting a plot you didn't outline, speaking lines that were half written by people who died before you took your first breath. Every generation thinks it has finally arrived at normal, finally reached the end of history, and every generation has been wrong. You are not the destination, you are a chapter, and here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. Right now, someone is living in the world you're building, without knowing it. Your habits, your choices, the way you raise your children, the way you talk about the future, you are quietly laying bricks for someone else's normal. You are, at this exact moment, becoming somebody's ancient history. The clothes you wear will look strange in old photographs. The things you find shocking will one day sound quaint. The technology you fear will one day feel as harmless as a toaster, and the technology you trust completely, the thing you never question, might be the very thing future generations look back on in horror. You are not living in the present, you are living in the past of a future that hasn't judged you yet. And someday, someone will look back at you the exact same way. They'll study your world the way you study ruins. They'll wonder how you lived like this, how you believed what you believed, how you didn't see what, to them, will be painfully obvious. You are not outside of history. You are the ruin, mid-collapse, still thinking it's the whole story. So ask yourself, not what you believe. Ask yourself what you don't even know you believe, because that's the part of you future generations will remember. You are not living in the present. You are living in someone else's future and someone else's past all at once, and the only thing you get to choose is what kind of ruins you leave behind.